Guys, welcome to our team call tonight. So tonight's call, as you guys know, Gretchen and I just got back from Business Mastery with Tony Robbins. And so the way this call is going to go is we're going to share not everything, but the most important pieces of information that we learned with you guys. And then we're going to breeze through it. Some things will require different workshops or calls with you guys. But tonight we're just going to breeze through everything. And then if you guys have questions at the end, we can go over that and go from there. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, cool. So the first thing that we learned on day one, which I feel like is so relevant to so many of you guys right now, if you are in a funk or know of a coach that is going through a funk right now, we basically learned how to get through that. And it's really a three-step process. But before I get into the process, raise a hand if you feel like you need to find working coaches and it's impossible to find working coaches, right? Keep your hand raised if you feel like you just need to find better challengers that participate in your groups. Keep your hand raised if you feel like you are doing everything that you need. You just need to find all these better people or get more likes on Instagram or any of these things, right? Okay, so, and now put your hands down. Raise your hand now if you feel like you really know what to do those things. Like, yes, you need all those things, but if you really committed, you could find, all the people and get more likes and do all of those things. Okay, so it's half and half. So the first step to getting out of a funk is, and I'm going to work backwards here, but the first step is having a strategy, okay? So that means knowing what to do in order to get those things. So you guys know this. I know all of you do. Just the honest ones were raising their hands about knowing what you need to do. So if you need to find working coaches, you need to host coach sneak peeks. You need to be posting about it. You need to be inviting to it. You need to own that you are a coach and that you're growing your own team. If you need participants in your challenge groups, you need to be participating in a challenge group. You need to be posting about your own progress and transformation and fully committed to that. If you need likes on Instagram, you need to be participating and liking on other people's posts. You need to be expanding your network, right? So this call isn't about coaching tasks, but we have full training on all those things that you need to do, but you need to have a strategy. Now, say you know all those strategies that I just told you and that all of our training has. The second part to getting out of a funk is the story that you're telling yourself. So for all of you guys that now know exactly what to do to get the working coaches and to grow your Instagram and to grow your influence, how many of you are sitting there thinking, I don't have working coaches. I can't find working coaches. I don't have people participating in my groups, right? Or are you sitting there thinking, I am attracting people that will participate. I'm attracting coaches that will actually work their business even if I don't have any yet. I'm attracting all of these things to me. So no matter if you have the best strategy in the world, you know exactly what you're doing, you need to look at the story that you're telling yourself. And if you're sitting there subconsciously thinking, I'm not a good coach, or I can't attract people, or I can't grow my Instagram, or whatever it is, no matter how good your strategy is, you're not going to do it. Okay, so that's step two is switch the story. You have to believe and you have to be certain that you can do these things. And even getting out of the nitty-gritty details, like your goal, if you think I'm only ever going to be an emerald coach, you're only ever going to be an emerald coach. You know, if you think I know I will become a diamond coach, I will become a star diamond, I will become 15-star diamond, no matter how crazy it sounds right now, you have to know internally that that is your story. Whatever you tell yourself truly is what you create. And one thing, a visual that I like that Tony did is he said that when you have a goal, think of splitting your mind or your head or body into two parts. One is here and the rest is down here. So a lot of times when we set goals for ourselves, the goal comes into our mind and then we get scared and it bounces right out. Or the goal comes in and we're like, oh no, we can't do that. Or this is why it's not gonna work. Or I got distracted, I have to go help my kids, or I have to go work out. So often we keep filling our mind with these goals and things and then it bounces right out. The way in order to actually change that story and get to that goal is to not let it bounce here. It has to deep root all the way into your core. So no matter what your kids have going on, no matter what work is going on in your life, no matter what travels, no matter any relationship things that are going on, deep down, this is happening. No matter you want it or not, it's going to happen. So you need that level of certainty with your goals, or else you're not, no strategy will do anything. Okay, and the last thing to getting out of a funk is the state. So say you have the story, you know deep down in your gut, in your core, you're gonna be 2-star diamond, right? You know that for a fact. You're willing to do anything that you need to do to get there, and you have the strategy. But if you're sitting at your computer and you're just like, yay, I need to go invite 10 people because I'm gonna be 2-star, and hopefully one wants to work the business, you may sign somebody up, but you're not in the state that's actually going to attract people to you and have that energy. So it really is about getting in peak state, as Tony calls it, which will allow you to open up, to be excited, to have all of these things literally attract to you by just being in a better state, so that when you are sending your messages, you're not just like, hey, gotta go check this off my list. You're like, I cannot fucking wait to go do this, because I know that the people out there that I'm reaching out to, even if they don't sign up now, they're going to sign up with me and they're going to be my next rockstar coach. You know, so it's totally mindset, but working backwards. So first and foremost, you have to be in the right state, which is something that we're going to do super quick right now. You have to be in state, you have to be telling yourself the right story, and then you need the strategy. And you guys don't even need you know the strategy. I guarantee you, unless you signed up today, and then you're learning the strategy right now. So that's how to get out of a funk. We're going to do this right now, super fast, like literally 30 seconds. I want you all to open up Amazon Music or Spotify or iTunes or whatever, and choose your favorite song that you just love to dance to, no matter if it's Britney Spears or rap or whatever. Choose a song. And what we're going to do, and the way that Gret and I get in peak state, even before this event, there's actually a 14-minute video from Tony Robbins where he has you just like jumping and dancing and listening to music. And then interspersed in there is affirmations. And he says, affirmations is when you call your own BS. You're like, I am a 2-star coach. And internally you're like, no, I'm not. Like, really? Or like, I love the body that I'm in. BS. No, I don't. I just had a baby. You know what I mean? So affirmations is like you're calling your own bullshit. Whereas he calls them incantations is when you're in this level of like dancing and the spirit and you say something to yourself, that's when it becomes deep rooted. So like, I love myself. I am a top 10 coach, or I am a 2-star coach, or I attract people to me. I am a positive influence. That it becomes part of you when you're in that peak state versus just sitting there sleepily in the morning, like saying your affirmations or whatever. Okay. So hopefully by now you've chosen your song. So do you have a song? No, we don't. What do you want to do? Lions? Yeah. Okay. The one we're going to listen to is Lions. I don't know that song. I don't think it is. I'm looking on YouTube and it's lions fighting. Lions versus hyenas. We're just going to choose one on Spotify. With your guys' song, go to the chorus. And for 30 seconds, you're going to get up and you're just going to dance like no one's watching. And if you're nervous to do that, turn off your video. I'd rather not see your face for 30 seconds and you seriously get in the mindset so that the rest of this call is going to be the last time you ever feel like you're in a funk, because we're going to share even more amazing things with you. Okay? Lions in the wild. Lions in the wild. Yeah. Okay, ready? Everyone get up and play your song. I'm going to play mine. That's frozen. No, we'll be free, but I don't know where we're going. You and me, this is our life and we own it, like lions in the wild. Okay, good job, you guys. I literally am sweating right now. All right, so again, you can do that before you work every single day. And you should do that. And even if you can't stand up and dance and do whatever, do something, do jumping jacks in the bathroom, you know, do something that gets you out of the mundane so that you spike your heart rate and you can forget everything else and put all positive intentions and vibes and stories into your task list. Okay. Chloe said that. I'm literally out of breath. Okay, cool.
Okay. So I'm going to go into something that we actually started doing when I first started coaching, which was about almost 4 years ago, which is finding your avatar. But we're going to go into a deeper layer of this. So for those of you who didn't do that training, you want to find your avatar, and which is basically your ideal client. So if you already have a client of yours that you're like, yes, this person is exactly who I want to attract to me, then think of them. If you don't have that person yet, don't use any of your current customers or coaches. Use someone that you think of would be your ideal client or coach. And you want to think about what are their passions, what are their desires, what are their fears, what are they terrified of, what are they feeling on any given moment. And you want to be posting that type of content because that's what's going to attract them. But to take that a step further is to think about what their values are. So there are 6 values that we all have, but we each have 1 or 2 primary values. So for example, significance is one value where if that's your primary value, you want to be heard, you want to be seen, you like to be recognized, you like to feel significant, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that is going to require a different level of posting than if you have certainty or uncertainty. So the values are significance, certainty, uncertainty, which is basically variability in your life, growth, what are the other
Contribution.
ones? Contribution, oh, and love, self-love, appreciation, connection, those types of things. So just to give you an example, why don't you share what your main 2 are and what types of things you would post to attract that person to you?
So here's the thing. It's the values of your ideal client. I personally think that I am driven by significance because I love recognition and want to be heard and be viewed as a leader, and certainty because I love control and like all of that stuff. So that's me, but my ideal client also is driven by significance and love and connection. So the way that I'm going to start posting is for significance, recognizing you guys, talking about our team retreats because you have to get to a certain level to get there, sharing transformations because that would make someone feel significant that I am sharing other people's transformations and they have the chance to be shared as well. And then for love and connection, I'm going to really play off of the accountability, not only in our challenge groups, but also in the coaching team. We're going to start doing local hangouts, which we haven't shared too much yet, but we're going to start doing that. All of the trips. So really talking about the way that we're able to connect within coaching and also as challengers.
And I feel like my personal ones are uncertainty, at least at this point in my life. I'm a nomad. For those of you who don't know, I'm living with my sister for who knows how long. So I like uncertainty at this point in my life. However, my ideal client wants certainty. They want to know that they could go to Beachbody on demand every day. They can click the workout. They know what they're getting into. Same with the meal plan. They've got that. So I want to be posting more about how I can commit to this thing that will always be here. It tells me exactly what to do. It's certain, and it's just my go-to. And then my other one, I personally like one of my other ones is contribution. And not that I'm doing much volunteering right now, but I really want to be. And I like giving back. I like working my job as a physical therapist and helping others. But I also, my ideal client will also want growth, which would be self-growth, like personal development. So I want to be sharing more about those types of things because that's who I'm trying to attract. Not that I'm trying to attract people other than me, but I want to attract people who have that side of me, and that's their main priorities.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, because I feel like with coaching, we're told attract you, right? But that's not always who you want to attract. Like for so long, it's just I've been sharing me and my journey, and I do think that's important, but switching it, and I don't know if we mentioned this yet, but don't focus on our products and services. Focus on your client. And that was like a big thing that he was saying all weekend long, because whenever like the next network marketing company comes in, which it will, the way that you're going to beat out that other company is by listening to your ideal client. If you are serving them and their needs, they're going to stay with you no matter what. They're going to be loyal AF because you are listening to them. You're not just saying, here, buy Energize. You're like, no, sure, buy Energize because it will make you feel amazing. You know that for certain. It'll make you feel really good because only amazing people in our group have Energize, and you're a busy mom. So like really focusing on your ideal client the whole time. Next, my favorite part is this worksheet. Take this next thing that I'm going to go over with a grain of salt. I'm going to do a completely separate workshop with you guys on this and have you each print this out. But if you saw my post in the team page in Fit Vibes Tribe, I have this vision where I am not having conversations all day long and still signing up people every single day and still giving people a really good experience and mentoring amazing people on my team. This is the way that I think that we're going to make that happen. And so what this is, it's called the Value Journey Worksheet. And so the process is, the first one is aware. And so this is where we are building awareness and influence to our followers and whatnot. Next, engaging with them. So this is like connecting with them, giving them something to like, that's fun, that they are engaging with us. So they like the post, or they message us, or they comment on a poll or something. Next, they subscribe to something. So this, some of my ideas, they might subscribe to a webinar that I'm doing, or I can do a mini class, or I know Ashley LaSure has playlists. You can just literally like have that playlist as a PDF or something for free, and they subscribe to it by entering their email, and you send it to them for free. Or something that I've been wanting to do is create 2 or 3 super short videos on emotional eating tips, so they can subscribe to that for free. So it's free content, again, that your ideal client wants. I like listening to music, but I don't know artists and like song names and lyrics, not my jam. So that's not what I'm going to do, but emotional eating tips I can totally get down with. So when we do this workshop, we'll help you think of your specific niche and who you want to help and create free content that they can subscribe to. Now, once they get that free content, up here, they convert. So this is where you convert them to something that's worth something small. So it could be the free trial. It could be a 15-minute call with you. It could be a Shakeology sampler pack, Energize sampler pack. You could even put together your own goodie bag and charge them $7 and it has one of everything in there, or whatever you want. So it's something to give them a taste. Once they get that, like not a freebie because it costs something, but once they get that small purchase from you, then it's the excite phase. And so this is when they realize, holy shit, this is actually amazing. Like this community is a killer. Or, oh my gosh, Nicole actually responded to my question. Or, wow, this team call is amazing. One of the ideas that I really liked was getting them, whatever they get, add them into your group and send them something that says, introduce yourself with the hashtag, I'm new here. And so then every day we go in and just search, I'm new here, and you actually respond, and like the whole group participates on welcoming that person. So it's the excitement phase of being like, whoa, this is actually really cool. I want to be a part of it. I'm going to buy something. And so this is where they actually buy something. So down here is the fitness and nutrition bundle. And then you ascend. So you go up and basically upsell them. So starting with a challenge pack, extra products to speed up their transformation, a one-on-one call with me. So again, we'll help you identify the extra things that they can get. From there, they're going to become an advocate because they have access to the group. They have everything that they need. They're going to fall in love with it, see their transformation. And this is where you ask them to send you their transformation, or they should send you their transformation. And if they do, give them a $5 Starbucks gift card, or send them a t-shirt or a sticker or something. So get a testimonial from them, and then at the same breath, immediately after that, say, hey, I know that you just said you love this. Do you have any friends or family that would want to, do this with you? So that's when it would become the referral program, or they can sign up as a discount coach, or ideally a working coach. So you guys, all of this, we have not had one conversation. This, I think, is going to take up I should say a lot of time, but a decent amount of time to identify what you want your conversion to be, what freebie works for you, and actually setting this all up. I know that I think Jess Manley was doing this. Chelsea Mendoza started doing email marketing. This is a subset of that. So I think it's going to be work. I think that this process is going to separate those of you that want to just help a couple people, which is totally fine, versus those of you that want to build a business where you don't have to be talking to people all the time, and it can be eventually self-running as long as you're keeping in touch with the marketing.
Also, a couple more things. So if you work full time, use other people's things. So like one of this, like Sam has videos of emotional eating, or theoretically, Ashley has her music playlist. Use those things. Don't feel like you have to spend all of your time creating the new content. We can all share whatever we want to in the group and use each other's. Also, we typically, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but we typically jump from this aware phase and connecting phase all the way to here.
Yeah.
We miss all of these. And one thing I thought was super interesting when this guy, I forgot who it was now, but when he first started telling us about the order, he was comparing it to relationships. And there's some book out there that says there's like 17 steps to becoming romantically involved with someone. And it starts off with like verbal, like saying hello. Then somewhere along the way, it's hand to hand, hand to shoulder, like mouth to mouth. Like it goes to all these different things. And he said that if you skip one or two of those, it's fine. Like generally a woman will feel fine if you miss one or two of those steps. But if you miss three, the woman will feel assaulted. And that's what we're doing. We're jumping from here all the way to here. So we're missing all of this thing. So of course, a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people are gonna be like, whoa, no, I'm not interested right off the bat, because we didn't take the time to get to know them better. Okay, Sam, I need a chart thing.
Oh, I was gonna give you this.
So this next thing blew my mind. So it's gonna require a little bit of math, easy math, and I already did it for you guys. I'm hoping I can show you. But they showed us how you can improve your business by 33% or 72.8%, it's really specific, but using things that you're already doing. So even if you didn't do any of this stuff, just by getting one more client per month and or adding on an upsell or an add-on, an extra, like a collagen or something, adding on one of those with each purchase, and or getting to the retention rate to stay around just one more month can be a drastic improvement. So we're already doing those things. How far away are you? So I'm gonna start with an example. I'm gonna give you guys two examples. So example number one, do you have a marker? Yeah. Oh, she's perfect. Okay, so so everyone on this call is helping a different amount of people per month. I'm going to go with the number 3. So ideally, we're hitting Success Club. So if you're helping three people a month, oh, you're not even going to be able to see that. You got a heavier one?
Oh, this one might be a good one. Expo. Stick.
Okay, is that backwards to you guys, or is that good? Good? Okay, so let's say you're helping 3 people a month. On average, based on the percentage that we make per order, it's about $45.
Weren't we going to do 9 people a quarter?
We're starting off with what they might be doing. Oh. Per quarter. Oh, yeah, per month. Okay.
So same thing. If you're helping 3 people a month, we're just breaking it down to quarterly goals.
Yeah.
So you're helping 9 people a quarter on average. 369.
Okay. So you're helping 9 people per quarter for about $45. And then retention rate on average, let's say 2 months, like they purchase Shakeology a second time or pre and post workout a second time, but then they drop off. So 2 months is what they stay around. That is,
Yeah, good.
810. Okay, so quarterly, you'd make $810. So if you multiply, if you improve your business by 10%, that would mean that instead of helping 9 people throughout 3 months, you'd help 9.9. So guys, that's not even one more full person in 3 months, okay? So that's how doable this would be. So you'd be at 9.9 people, and you're gonna upsell the order by 10%, which instead of 45 would be 49.5. So just a couple of dollars more. So 49.5. And if you improve their retention rate by 10%, instead of 2 months, it's 2.2 months. So again, not even a full extra month. The cost of what you would make per quarter jumps from $810 to $1,078. Just from the 10% changes in those 3 areas. And that's hardly a change. That's not even a full extra person, not even a full extra month, and I mean, maybe a couple dollar extra purchase. So now just to give you a broader example, let's say you help 1 full more person each month. So that would be 12 people per quarter, because we're starting off at 9, so 10, 11, 12, 1 more each month. And we're going to just round it up to $50 instead of 49.5. And we're gonna get a full month. So instead of 2-month retention, we're gonna go to 3 months. So by a show of hands, before I show you the amount, does that seem doable to you guys? Like, do you think you could help 1 more person per month and add an upsell of $5 and get them to stay 1 more month?
Raise your hand.
Yeah, I can't tell if you guys, if you think that's doable, you would be jumping from $810 to $1,800, $1,000 more per month, just by helping in those tiny, tiny little ways. It's insane. So I love to do it, and that's only 10%. Like, we also did this math with 20% and 30%, and your business grows drastically with these tiny little changes to things that you're already doing. And I think that's very motivating too, because often if you're only making a certain amount of money each month and you're kind of stuck in a rut, you think like you need to overhaul, do these like crazy things, like get new strategies. All you need to do are tiny changes to these things. So does that, by a show of hands, does that make sense to explain that well, that math well? Okay.
Rough start for you, Doug.
Yeah.
But it should be motivating, because I was stuck in like I just need all the new people. And it's like, not really. If I can just get them to stick around and like buy a couple more things, it's the same impact as getting more people. So I love that. That was my second favorite thing. Last thing we're going to share with you guys, and then we can go to questions if you have them. I already talked about being certain, but talking about goals like this, you have to be certain that you're actually going to reach them. Going back to that story, if you keep playing that story of I'm not motivating, or I'm not influential, or I'm not a good coach, or I'm not attracting these people, you're right. And you hear that quote all the time. It was hit home so hard this week that you manifest and you put out into the universe exactly what you're telling yourself. So stop that by getting into peak state. You have all of the strategies, you have this team, and just knowing for certain that no matter what, you're going to make it happen. And so there's actually a system. So when you do find yourself, not necessarily in a funk like we went over earlier, but more so telling yourself these things, there's 3 questions to ask and then 2 extra things to do that will help you get out of that system. So we're going to do role playing. And I don't know what my answers are going to be, but Gretchen's going to ask me the questions.
So what's something that you're stuck in right now?
I would say I have a hard time getting new coaches to actually work the business. I can't get newbies to actually do something.
Okay. So is that true, first of all?
It's like there's more to that question.
Right. So you're supposed to ask yourself, is that true? Is there any possibility that that's not true? Or that you have done that in the past where you've been able to coach people? Or are you 1000% certain that you will never, ever mentor newbie working coaches?
No. So it's not true. I have done it in the past, and even if I didn't, I feel like I could find people that would want to.
And just so you know, what he was saying, any actual human being will never be able to say yes to that question. There is never 100% certainty that what your fears are, what you're thinking is true. There's always a way around it. So good job, you passed. Okay, so it's not true. What do you feel and experience when you believe that thought, and what type of person do you become?
I feel like I'm not a good coach when I think those thoughts. I feel like I just wouldn't be able to mentor anyone. I feel like it's almost a waste of time to be talking about the coaching opportunity. Should I keep going?
Is it discouraging? Is it exciting?
It's discouraging, frustrating, like it's a letdown.
Okay. So if this thought didn't exist, how would you feel?
I would feel like I could mentor all of the coaches, and I would feel invincible, and like everyone would want to sign up with me, and happy.
Okay. So what is the opposite belief from your original belief that you said?
That I can attract working coaches and mentor newbies to actually work the business.
And what are 3 things that you've already done that proves that you can do this again?
I've mentored people to at least go through the training. I've mentored rockstar coaches before. And I think people are influenced by my posts about coaching and like want to join our team.
So do you think you can find coaches that want to work the business?
Yes. So that's the whole process, you guys, is first ask, is it true? And you guys, I started to do this with some of you guys when I was at the event. I've heard from people every single day, I can't find working coaches. Nobody wants to sign up. Everybody's telling me no. Any of these excuses that you hear, is it true? Is everyone really telling you no? Have you never signed anybody up? And even if you haven't, is there literally no one in the entire universe that's interested? No. There are people that are out there, right? How does it make you feel when you think those things? It makes you feel shitty. Think of all of those things and feel those things. How would it feel if you actually thought that you were a good coach? If you could attract these people, if you could mentor people, you'd feel amazing. You'd feel like you were the best coach on earth. And then, then just flip it and you annihilate it by saying literally, no, I can attract people. I am attracting people. I am influential, whatever it was. Like people do want to sign up with me. So switch that and then identify 3 things. Because I could look at every single person on this call. I just noticed Remy. I could even look at Remy and say, like, I know 3 things of why each of you are an amazing coach, more so than you believe in yourself. So there are those things. You just have to be able to identify them and run with that, and that will help you break out of that negative story, especially the more you feel it, then the more accurate it'll be and the more you'll actually run with that.
And I think it's important too to actually feel it. Like not just to say, I would feel frustrated, I would feel disappointed, or I'd feel excited, I'd feel like I'm the best coach. If you actually feel it, it's going to really motivate you to get going. If you do this process with yourself or with some of your coaches, you'll notice a big difference if they're just saying it versus actually feeling it. So really try to take it to that next level. And also, lastly, I'll say, Tony Robbins spent the full first day, which how many hours was that? God.
It started at like 9 and we didn't get out till 11:30.
That was all on mindset. So I know that we hear all the time how important mindset is. It's that important. Like don't brush that off thinking, oh yeah, I know we heard that at Summit. We hear this on National Wake Up Call. We hear this all the time. It is that important. So unless you think your mindset is impeccable, sure, then move on. But if it's not, focus on that every single day. You will not get where you want to be in this business if your mindset's not in it.
Yeah, he even said that 80% of issues in businesses is the psychology of the leader. Which is when I was like, damn, like even I still think the same as you guys. Like I'm not attracting that many working coaches. Why? Because my mindset is I'm not attracting working coaches. And my mindset is like, I'm stuck. And my mindset is all of these negative things. So we taught you how to break out of that and just really develop in yourself. I think it's important to invest in personal development, both business and motivational. If you're doing too much of one or the other, you might be the most motivated person ever with no business tactics, with no new business tactics, or you might be the best business savvy person, but little to no motivation. So make sure it's a good mix. We could go on for days, but what questions do you guys have, if anything? I'll go through the chat too, because I see it's popping.
I don't think it's for us though.
Okay.
I don't have any questions. I just want to say that it's good to hear from a successful coach that you have the same doubts about things that I do. Honestly, like I feel, that I can't attract working coaches, or I feel like I'm not a good leader when I sign up like 10 coaches in a month and none of them do anything. It's good to feel relatable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, good. I truly mean it. I've signed up 2 people this month, and they were past customers. I haven't signed up anybody new this month. But yeah, I mean, we all go through it. So literally when a new coach tells me that everyone's saying no, and I'm like, girl, me too. Like literally everyone is telling me no. The difference is that a new coach gets stuck in the, I'm not a good coach. And I'm like, it's fine. More people are going to join me. So it's such a mindset shift. But yeah, everyone, I swear, goes through the same struggles.
14-minute video. Brenna, what is it called?
On YouTube, search Tony Robbins Peak State.
It's amazing. And it's the same thing where, so you do this funky thing like this, and you're breathing in and out to get air into your body. But then the first thing you do is you think of 3 things that you're grateful for, but you actually feel it. And it is insane. Like the things I think of are so silly. Yeah, it's a priming video.
There's priming, which is what she's talking about, and then peak state is the dancing and fun stuff.
Yeah. The priming video, like I literally think of the first day I picked up Finn when he was 2 pounds, and then like camping with my dad and like different things. And when I'm like fully into it, my heart feels like, oh my God, if you make me think of one more thing, my heart's gonna explode. Like it is like really feel it. And it's such a great feeling. It's how awesome of a way is that to start your day. Mm-hmm. So I would highly suggest doing that priming video.
Yeah, I'll post, when I post the recording of this, I'll post both links, the peak state and the priming one. Yes, Kelsey, time to flip the mindset.
And start with how have you been successful so far? Whether it's in your own journey or if you have signed up a coach or a customer or not, what have you in life been successful with so far? There's got to be something. There's at least one thing, if not 10.
True. I also just realized we have a whole second page on our team call. I thought it was just the first page this whole time. Thank you for joining, guys. Any questions or findings? I am so excited about this and that 10-10-10 plan.
And I think it's going to, at least for me, I don't know if anyone else is the same way, it's going to take practice to not go back into your daily habits. My daily habits right now, post, reach out to the call to action ones, send invites to specific things. Like I'm in a group, I've been doing it for 3.5, almost 4 years. To do things this way is gonna take work. I'm gonna have to remind myself every day before I post and before I send a message, where am I in this pathway with each person? Because Sam said before, like ideally you won't be having conversations. I think you will be. If you have a website or something, you can get that a little bit easier, but you will still have to have conversations, but you're not jumping to a challenge pack. You're jumping to something that's free or $7 or under. So just, approach this in a new way if you're a coach that has been coaching for more than 6 months.
Krista said, how do you stay committed to a workout? Yeah, I agree with Brenna. I think she said it, recover. I was out of recover, and with morning meltdown, I ordered it because I can't deal with it anymore. It helps so much. And it's
I don't have like, it's not necessarily a question, but more of a request. Like, so the other day you posted something about marketing that I was like, I'm a marketing student, so that's probably why I nerded out. But you posted something that you had learned during the Tony Robbins thing, and it has like some kind of marketing plan or something like that. And I thoroughly enjoyed being able to look at that. So like, if you like come across things like, or as you're doing things, like keep sharing. Like even if you feel like you're just putting in the group and nothing's happening, just keep sharing, okay? Because that's awesome.
I definitely will. I shared something the other day on how to get or focus on your ideal client. And so realize that, or literally just Google ideal client. There's so many forms of like, so that you can actually pinpoint down. And I say like, put it wherever you post, put it where you're going to post so that you stop thinking in terms of what's my story and what do I want versus what does this person want? What does your ideal client want?
And one thing Sam and I were talking today, so her ideal client would be emotional eaters, is that right? In a way?
I think there's going to be a lot of different ideal clients, but one of mine is going to be emotional eaters.
But she's not necessarily always going to post about emotional eating. Like, what would someone who has emotional eating issues, I don't know if that's the right terminology, what would they want to hear? Like, and my first thought was, well, emotional eating is a relationship issue with food, but maybe they would also want to know about like best date spots, or more about like actual relationships with your friends or with your spouse. And so you could be posting things about that. So you want to get in the heads of the people that you want to be your clients, your ideal clients, not necessarily posting about the issue, but what else unrelated would they want to hear?
Yeah, like I love wine, and so I could talk about the difference in sugar in white wine versus red wine. I don't know. I'm literally going to Google that for a post. So you don't have to know the answer, but just think of like, what are the things that your ideal client wants? And then there's a website called answerthepublic.com. So that's where we're starting to get some of these. You can literally type in coffee, and there's like who, what, why, when, where, which, can, like any type of question word. There's like 15 questions that the public is asking about coffee. Like, can coffee help you lose weight? Does coffee really give you energy? Like all of these things that each one can be a post.
Yeah, if I had never, did you know about that website? Mm-hmm. It's really cool. Answerthepublic.com. Yeah, go do it.
And Brian said, how do you handle dead conversations in the following situations? 1, send the share a cart link and they stop responding. I'll start and say, I don't send the share a cart link until I tell them the cost and they say yes. So if you're just creating the share cart before they know the cost and before they agree to that cost, that's step 1. But even after you do that, I just keep following up with them. That literally happened. She finally signed up today, and I initially sent her the link like July 31st. So I just kept following up every couple of days. Hey, were you interested? Then I would just do like a hi waving emoji. Then, girl, I was just thinking about you. And then I actually said most recently, were you still interested? Because I have somebody else that wants to use your code. And that was what got her to sign up. And I probably followed up 6 times and she ghosted me. And then today she finally signed up.
I agree with all of that. And just like also commenting on their posts if they are posting, just being in their way so that they see your name pop up and it reminds them. Because they may have just gotten busy multiple times over and over again. So just keep being in their way.
And that's the same thing for the second scenario. Once they're interested and now they're quiet, comment on their stuff. Make sure you're posting daily because then you will pop up in their feed.
One thing that works for me too, if once people go quiet and they consistently stop responding, which to me consistently would be me sending them a message at least 7 times and just not hearing back from them, I will end it with like, hey, just checking in again, blah, blah, blah. I really don't want to be annoying you. I sincerely apologize if I am. Please let me know so I can take you off of my follow-up list if you're no longer interested. I recently sent that to someone that I know from college, but I'm legitimately terrified of. Like, she was older than me and she looks like a badass and I do not want to be on her bad side. And she responded with the sweetest message that was, I won't go into the full details, like she's fallen into mom life and didn't want to respond because she didn't want to like go back on her word, blah, blah, blah. So just like giving them that out, like I will take you off my follow-up list if you want me to, but let me know.
Mm-hmm. You guys, literally, like I just said, I just got ghosted for like a ton of times. I see Kim's message too. She needs to work on her mindset because ghosting brings her down. Ghosting is like part of the process.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you look, you're not being ghosted, you're being haunted. They're still watching you.
Whoa.
So what kind of deep? It's a phrase.
It's true.
I say that now.
I used to haunt people. I haunted Raina before I signed up. I never even liked anything.
Yeah. I think it's a dating phrase.
Yeah. Anything else, you guys? I think I found.
And if you need ideas of personal development for mindset or for business, post in Fit Vibes Tribe. You know, everyone has done different readings, Audible, whatever. Especially if you're a newer coach, ask and we'll let you know what our favorites were. Lauren Phillips gave me she gave me the idea of my very first ever personal development book. It was Miracle Morning. I remember you were waking up at like 4:30 a.m. and you were super consistent. I was like, I want that lifestyle. Like, that's a certainty in me that I'm hoping to find in my ideal client. So that was a great one.
David Goggins was good. Someone in a thread was mentioning Trent someone. I don't know. Didn't actually. Anyways, you guys, so stay tuned. There's so much that we didn't share, but we just wanted to give you a little sense of where our mindsets are at and where we want to take our team. We will be setting up other meetings. I mean, maybe we'll do this on a What's Working call where we can like actually dig in and like help you identify the process. But yeah, I think that's all we've got for now. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time to share this. I know that Tony Robbins is not cheap, and you did not have to share this with us. So thank you so much for taking the time to do that.
You're welcome. It's my personal goal to bring a whole group of us to Unleash the Power Within, which is not the event that we were just at, but like it was the first one that I was like, you just break through all of those limiting beliefs and it's literally a game changer. So that's my goal for our team, but you're welcome for now.
And Green said, writing captions is time consuming. It is like writing mini essays for a college course. Yeah, a lot of people say that as quickly as you can, and hopefully with these tips you'll be able to, but get out of that pattern. That is going to be so draining and it's not sustainable. My best advice would be whenever you think of a topic, and I think of my topics when I'm not working. Like it's when I'm walking thin. It's when I'm, not that I go for runs anymore, but like when I'm doing other things, just jot the topic down and it doesn't need to be perfect. And I think your posts are really good. Maybe it's because you take a long time to write them, but just have an idea of what you want to post about so that you're not just like picking out of the clouds. Like, what do I want to share today? You know, like actually have structure, and doing this paper that we just talked about will help you with that. But just generally having an idea. And then when you think of something, jot it down so that when you go back to it, the post is half written.
No, Jess said her best captions come in the shower or the middle of the night. Same. Mine is like when I'm flying because I don't have Wi-Fi. So anytime I can like truly disconnect, or running, I agree.
Also, if you wanted to, don't literally follow other coaches. Like don't click the follow button. But if there's any coach that really inspires you and who might be your ideal client, see what they're posting. Don't copy it word for word, but you can use that as an idea for what you want to share.
And there's nothing wrong with doing an adorable quote. I think Nicole Faulkner, you're like, I feel like they're just like boss babe, fierce, like every time you do it, I'm like, I totally want to steal that. And I usually do just a couple weeks later. So like, there's nothing wrong with like just a cute one-liner. And then like every other post, maybe you can go into your story or go to answer the public and keep it lighthearted. If you're not a serious person, like someone said, if you're not long-winded, don't write long-winded posts. If you're not like looking for a long post every time, post something about coffee, and then like post about why Shavasana is amazing, you know, and then post about like just a cute quote or something like that. Yeah. You copy my post, go for it.
I think Brenna said, yeah, it doesn't have to be lengthy. On one of the recent What's Working calls, I think it was Chelsea Mendoza, said that literally just a one-liner is working well for her. Not every post, but every so often. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, Raina for the longest time was literally just doing a quote. And I'm like, how is she signing up all the people? It's because she's active in her stories about the groups and coaching and whatnot.
Going off of that too really quick, look for what you're going off of what Gretchen talked about, go towards what your ideal client would look for. Like I personally, if I see a long post without spaces in between, I'm like, next, I don't have the patience for that. I literally hate reading. So I don't make posts like that. So think of what you enjoy seeing. Same thing with stories too. If you enjoy a specific type of story, watching another coach or another person, recreate what you like seeing. Don't recreate something that you're like, oh, I hate when that person does that, but here I am doing it because I don't know what else to do. Like think of your ideal client, like Gretchen said, and then do things based off of that.
I agree. Nicole, I like share your stories all the time with people as a reference, because I'm like, Nicole's like, you just feel like you're in the living room or kitchen or wherever she is with you. And like, I will never forget, you were like, oh, you were recording, like opening up a beach bar with your teeth and like while recording, and like, I don't know. And you're just, and also you do it short, like less than the 15 seconds. And I feel like myself and so many coaches now just do the whole 15 seconds and then it goes into a 30-second. And then if you don't add text, I don't listen to you. I just keep tapping because I don't have that attention span, especially if there's no text on it. So with Nicole's, it's just like, you don't even have to tap because by the time you're ready to tap, it's onto something else. So yeah, like just get out of what you have been doing and think like, what do I really want to do? Or what do I really like from watching other people's stuff?
Yeah, I started following somebody else and she was doing the shorter clips and I was like, I love this. I'm obsessed with this. And I would literally watch all day of hers because I was obsessed with that. So I was like, this is obviously what I'm drawn to. I'm going to start duplicating this. And that's where that came from.
Love it.
And then Breen said, people have different preferences. That is true, but what does your ideal client prefer? And if it's both, do both. But if your ideal client, if you think they would prefer one or the other, just stick to one.
Sam, can you guys post those questions that you were asking each other that Gretchen was asking you? Like if you're stuck, those questions. I tried to write them all down, but it was going so quick. There was no way I could write them all down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to write down what I'm going to share. Peak state, priming, and questions. Anything else? I can share that worksheet, but we're going to do that separately too.
I wish you would. So when we were, I was going to say at Summit, when we were at this event, I forgot who it was, but one of Sam's coaches reached out to her with some limiting belief. And she didn't even know that she was using that process on her. But I think Sam literally used the words like, is that true? Like,
I'm going to pull it up for you guys.
It was amazing.
If you are mentoring coaches, take this and this is how you can mentor them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's on right now. If you are, I love you, Kirsty. I'm going to exploit you. So she said, actually, I think I brought it up. So I saw one of her coach cancellations come through. So I said, P.S. I saw so-and-so's cancellation come through. Did she tell you about that? And she said, I saw it yesterday and talked to her about it, asked if everything was okay. I'm bummed because a different coach went inactive too, and And I said, girl, don't let this stop you. You can totally find other coaches that want to work with you, right? And she said, right, just a bump. And I said, right, and how will you feel when you attract coaches who you can mentor? And she said, that's true. I don't want to attract or force people who don't want it. I want people who want to do it with me and make a change. And I said, right, and you will. And I want you to feel how it will feel when you do attract those people. How will it feel for you? And she said, it will feel like an honor, like someone is looking up to me, and that's probably the best compliment. It'll feel the way I felt when someone came to me for paramedic advice, or the girls came to me as a role model at the firehouse. And shit, that took 6 years to happen. Thanks, I needed that boost. When I went even further, I said, yes, I want you to really feel those things. When you feel those things and imagine that your vision is certain and will happen, don't you think you can find a way to find more people? And she said, yes, I totally do. And I think I can inspire people to do the same as well. Sam, you're a motivational book right now. Thanks for the pep talk. It got me thinking how I can brand myself a little better and be more consistent on my Instagram. And I'm like, marker drop. She went from like, I'm bummed to not attracting coaches to wanting to build a brand and post more consistently on Instagram and feeling so empowered. Yeah. So that if you truly open up and don't just think, is this true? Yeah, it's true. You know, like think, is it really true? And how will you feel if you keep thinking that versus if you don't? And what can your vision be if you allow it to be? So it's pretty powerful. And we will share that with you. Okay, I feel like we need to get off of our soapbox. Yeah. I did that to you too, Katie. And Brianna, anyone that messaged me last week, I was like, what are these questions?
Is this true?
Okay, cool. Thank you guys, truly. Let's do a quick boomerang, but I really do want to thank you guys for hopping on. I am so excited. Like, my vision for our team is beyond what you can even think of right now, and I'm taking all of you with me if you want to be on this journey with us. So, boomerang time. At your pizza. Good. Lifestyle. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yay! Cool. Thank you again, you guys. I'll post a recording tomorrow morning along with everything we covered. And reach out if you need anything at all. Bye.